All right, y'all, we are back. Okay, we're about to get into real court sessions. Okay, so let us go ahead and check this one out, see what it's all about. Make sure you guys are coming in, liking up the video, supporting the channel, and let's see how this is playing out over here. All right.
Court is now in session. Middle of page 2, Kelly Edmondson versus Troy Laidler.
For the record, this matter is before the court on the objections filed by both parties. First of all, the objections of the plaintiff, Kaylee Edmondson, to a recommended order that the parties shall continue to share joint physical custody of their two children with equal parenting time. In addition, what's before the court is also an objection filed by the defendant, father Troy Laidler, to a recommended order of child support. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. You are Kaylee Edmondson, is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, and Troy Laidler is also present. The two of you have conferred at length with Ms. Brower in front of the court this morning, who has provided the court the following recommendation. The court adopts this, it'll become an order of the court. The recommendation is that the referee recommend order be rescinded and canceled. And you're asking the court to do that, Ms. Edmondson, to rescind and cancel that recommended order. And that the parenting time shall be, in lieu of that, this will be the order, that the father's parenting time should be on a 2-week rotation. Week 1 will commence on Friday after school. You have a 6 and a 4-year-old, or 5 p.m. if there's no school. Then dad will take the children back to school Tuesday morning, or 8 a.m. to you if there's no school. Week 2 for dad will be Friday after school, or 5 p.m. for no school, to Monday to school, or 8 a.m. if no school. If there's no school, the paternal grandmother or great grandmother shall transport the children to and from mother's home. Mother shall stay in the home during the exchange. Father's agent or his grandmother or great grandmother shall also stay in their vehicle. Children shall be dropped off the curb or driveway to walk into mom's home. The party shall adopt the friendly court holiday schedule, absent an agreement to the contrary. Each party shall have 1 phone call per day at 7 p.m. when the children are not in their care. Mother shall initiate her calls to the paternal grandmother. Father shall initiate his calls to the plaintiff's sister. There should be no disparaging remarks from either of you or any third party regarding in the presence of the children about the other parent, and there should be no corporal punishment, no physical punishment. And if the minor child is sick, the other parent should be notified immediately. Further, that child support shall be modified and shall be in the amount of $222 per month, effective January 1, 2024.
I don't.
That is a recommendation. Ms. Edmondson, do you understand the recommendation?
I understand the recommendation, but I don't agree to it.
Okay. What is your what is it that you don't agree with?
I don't agree with the child support.
Okay. Okay, unless you can show that Mr. Laidler's income is inaccurate. It's a black and white, it's a formula based upon incomes. And child support can go up and down. As Mr. Laidler, if you get laid off, you have no income, Mr. Laidler has an increase, we can always modify child support upon changing circumstances.
What was the child support?
There's very little wiggle room in child support. It's based upon incomes.
How much is he paying?
So you claim that Mr. Laidler is misrepresenting his income?
He might be. He may be.
Ooh. Who you got?
Sorry, Miss Edmondson, who else is present in your room?
No, nobody's present. They're not in the room. They're in another room. I'm in the kitchen.
Okay, well, I heard some other person speak up, and this is between you, Mr. Laidler. We shouldn't have third parties putting their 2 cents in.
I know that's right.
So if you need to close the kitchen door, we don't want input from any third parties.
The kitchen is wide open. It's connected. It's connected to the living room.
Well, the court's concerned when you have a third party telling you what to agree to and what not to agree to.
No, it's not. They weren't even speaking to me.
Okay.
It's the lies. Did y'all hear this? The man, she said he may be, and then the person said might be, and she said might be, or whichever one it was. He might be, maybe, whatever it was. We heard a third person. So for her to sit up there and lie in this judge's face and say that, oh, they weren't even talking to me when the judge heard them talk to you, you silly girl. I want to call her SLOW so bad. But anywho, for you to sit up there and say that ain't nobody talking to you when we literally just heard it, I feel like as a judge, I would feel like you're playing in my face and trying to play on my damn intelligence. I asked you who was in the room. Who the hell is in there? When I ask you, who do you have in there with you? Don't tell me that somebody's not in the same room with you. Okay? Because if I was the judge, I would have called that to the front. Tell them to come over here. Okay? So we can see who the hell they is and let them know that they were not sworn into this court hearing for them to have their 2 cents inserted, nor were the hell they called on to have their cents inserted in this matter here. Okay? Now you interrupt my court again. The same charges I could give to you for disrupting my court had you been here in person, you'll around and get that too via Zoom. You understand me? Now sit your $5 down. Don't come back over here on my screen. Or I don't want to hear no echo. I don't want to hear nothing. You gonna be in the other room? You be in the other room. Okay? And she wouldn't be able to sit her ass up here on this platform looking down, fiddling with whatever the hell she fiddling with either. Because if Mr. Troy is down here looking dead into the screen, we expect you to do the same. Look at the people when they talking to you. Girl, she didn't. Good. No, she didn't.
Mr. Laidler, did you accurately report your income to Ms. Brower this morning?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Edmondson, what evidence do you have that Mr. Laidler is not providing accurate information?
Before this motion, he agreed to giving me $5. He agreed to that.
He agrees.
And then on a piece of paper, he said that his hours changed, which I think he purposely cut his hours where he doesn't have to financially help me with those children.
Oh,
I
my.
also do believe that he wants the children more for selfish reasons where he doesn't have to help me financially.
Right, well, hold on. Let's talk about child support right now. Parenting time is another issue. Let's talk about child support.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm using that as an example for the child support.
So she's saying he want the kids more so he don't have to. I could be tripping, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause. I could be tripping. She said he wants the kids more so he does not have to pay child support. And then she said he lowered his income to avoid from having to pay, I guess, a lot in child support or something. Okay, so 2 things. One, that could be possible that he did lower it to avoid from paying her, but maybe the job could have cut his hours too. Because of how the economy is, it's possible, but I don't think she wrong either, because I do feel like a lot of men do that. I feel like they'll take a lesser amount so that they can report a certain number to the courts to get their stuff lowered, and then once that hearing is over, they'll revert back to getting those hours back. So he could be trying to plot a scheme. Now, when it comes to him trying to avoid from paying child support, which is why he wants to get his kids more, I don't know, because when it first came on, it sounds like the judge was already administering a certain amount of hours or how often he could see his kids anyway. And now y'all going into child support, so it seems like he's going to have to pay child support regardless. So even if he thought it was going to be a situation where it's like, oh, I'll get the kids two weeks out the month, so I ain't got to pay you, that's not happening. You can get them more, but you still gonna have to pay, is what it seems like to me. So on the latter end, I mean, I would disagree with her as far as that he want the kids more so he can avoid paying. Maybe that was his initial plan, but it ain't working out for him because he's still gonna have to pay you something, right? But the other portion, as far as him cutting his hours, that could definitely be true, or hey.
Recommendation was $501.
That was the recommendation 501. So
Ms. Brower, have you reviewed Mr. McKee's recommendation, the basis for that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, what's the difference between what's being reported today and what's reported to Mr. McKee?
I use the same income, health insurance, and childcare that Mr. McKee did. I modified it to 185 overnights for dad versus 156 that Mr. McKee used, and it did reduce the child support to $222.
Oh, because he playing healthcare too. Is that why?
Okay. Right, well, Ms. Edmondson, the court's going to adopt the recommendation relative to child support if you believe that there is other income there. And then you can file a motion to change
Increase that. Okay.
That's what the court's can order will be is 222, commencing January 1st, 2024. So let's now talk about
222?
parenting time. You just get
For both kids, or is that each child? Because then that would be what, 444? No, it sounds like he playing a total of 222. Maybe they kind of tried to cut that in half because he's getting those kids two weeks out the month and he paying their health care. Okay then.
the parenting time recommendation as well.
Sorry,
Ms. Edmondson,
can you repeat that?
the court is adopting the child support recommendation of 222 a month beginning January 1st.
Oh, so it is just all.
So let's now talk about parenting time. Do you also disagree with this parenting time recommendation as well? Is that correct?
Yes, I do disagree with it.
Okay. Now, prior to the recent action, what was Mr. Laidler's parenting time? Mr. Laidler, you had every Sunday morning and took the children to, you had every weekend, correct? Sunday morning to school on Tuesday mornings, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the court
Sometimes
noted that was a past practice, and you also had parenting time every Thursday overnight. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would you agree, Ms. Edmondson, that was the practice in the past until after you separated? Mr. Laidler had every weekend, Sunday to Tuesday, and also every Thursday overnight?
Yes, that's what he had. And also, but before that, I mean, he didn't really care to have those days either because there will be times where he will choose partying over being kids.
Sir?
Well, but obviously, if he's not following this parenting time schedule, he's not there with the children. And are you off for work on Mondays and Tuesdays, Mr. Laidler?
Did you say was I off Mondays and Tuesdays?
Will you be? This is not parenting time for your mother. This is parenting time for you. Are you off work on Mondays and Tuesdays?
Oh, did y'all see her in the camera?
No.
No, she didn't. Did she? Oh, Miss Ma'am said, okay. She got in the camera like, told you. Why you trying to, you think you slick, Nick? Child, this messy here.
This is parenting time for you. Are you off work on Mondays and Tuesdays?
No.
All right. Do you work? What about Mondays?
Yes, I work Mondays.
Okay, but again, so where are the children going to be? Should they be with mom rather than you?
To be at school. I drop them off at school, then go to work.
Okay, well, that's right. The youngest one is in preschool or the daycare. Is that correct?
They're both in school.
Okay, they're both in the same facility?
Yes, same school.
All right. So you'll be able to get them to school and you'll also be available to pick them up?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, she said,
All right.
hell no.
I guess that,
Girl,
I forgot that they're school age.
Oh, Lord.
So this recommendation is not far off, Ms. Edmondson, what the two of you previously practiced after you separated. Dad had every weekend, basically, from Sunday morning to Tuesday morning to school, as I understand, and every Thursday overnight. This just simply gives them long weekends.
He works Monday and Tuesday. Sometimes he doesn't even get off until late at night.
Ooh.
So those days, they're with his mom and his grandma. And while I'm at home.
All right.
Oh,
What
so
about
you'd
that,
rather
Mr.
have the
Laidler?
kids at home.
How
Okay.
often are you not home when the kids get out of school?
He doesn't pick me up.
With my old job, yeah, I would work long hours. But with my new job, where I'm at now, I get off at 2:45.
Okay, so you'll be home in
You
the
got
evenings
proof?
on Monday and Tuesdays. Is that correct? On Mondays.
Yes, with my new job, yes.
So you'll be home. I'm sorry. You'll be home Friday evenings as well as Monday evenings. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you work
Okay.
weekends?
Every other Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the Saturday you ain't got the kids? That's when you work?
And who's going to watch the children every other Saturday when you're working?
It'd be my grandmother and my mother. They both help.
Okay,
I-
they should be with mother. Miss Edmondson, do you work on Saturdays?
No.
Okay, Miss Brower, is there some way we can modify this that, or maybe just add a sentence that on the course of claim to adopt the recommendation, but maybe alternating Saturdays when Mr. Laidler is working, the children shall be returned to mother.
Or why can't he
I
just
know
get the
it's a lot of
kids
going back
when
and
he ain't
forth.
supposed to be working?
Mr. Laidler, are you willing to make this work? And the Saturdays that you are working, you will notify that you will return the children to Miss Edmondson.
He probably don't give a damn. That man, maybe when he don't want to get them kids, he might lie and be like, "Girl, I gotta work," just so he can go hang out with his friends. Ain't no telling. I don't know.
Yes, if I could get a weekday in replacement of that Saturday.
Ah, okay.
Well, we're not going to bounce the kids around. I mean, let's try to. It's sort of complicated right now. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Any thoughts, Miss Brower?
Your Honor, we could modify days where the parties rotate Saturdays
Right.
instead of Tuesday, and that
That
would
might be the
alleviate the
answer.
issue.
Yeah,
might
when
be the-
he's not working, he could get done. What I'm saying.
That perhaps is a reasonable solution. So in other words, during the week that Mr. Laidler is working on a Saturday, the child will be with mom.
Wow.
So dad's weekends would be Friday after school until Monday to school. Is that what you're suggesting?
No, Your Honor, I would
Okay.
suggest father have week 1, Wednesday after school to Sunday morning. And week 2 would be Wednesday after school to Saturday morning before he begins work.
Okay. That's an awkward schedule.
So both weeks would be Wednesday after school. You can pick them up from school then, Mr. Laidler?
Yes.
Okay. And what time do you get out of school?
3:15.
Okay. And you can be ready there to pick them up at 3:15?
Yes, sir.
He get
And
off
then
at
week
2:45.
one,
Is that enough
return,
time?
the children to mom on Sunday morning. When you're not working, when you're working, you return the children to mom on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's
if
fair.
you go into work real early,
Miss
obviously
Ma'am
let
is
the kids
too
sleep in,
confused.
and
I'm
then,
with you, girl. I'm a little
if,
confused too.
you're working, then we'll establish a time that you will have the children return to mom on your Saturdays that you're working. And if you're working, your mother or grandmother shall transport the children to mother's home. We should perhaps set a time on Saturday and Sunday, Miss Brower. Perhaps 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Would that work with the children? 9 o'clock on Saturday would return to mom if the dad's working. Otherwise, it'd be 9 o'clock on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, just hold on, Mrs. Emerson. Mrs. Brower's she's been gracious enough to reduce this to writing. So in other words, Ms. Brower, the suggestion is, recommendation is, and I appreciate your help, is on week 1, dad will have plenty of time Wednesday after school until Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. Week 2, dad will have plenty of time Wednesday after school until Saturday at 9 a.m., assuming that he's working that Saturday.
So if he ain't working that Saturday,
Correct.
then he
Mr. Laidler,
return
which
them
Saturday are
on
you
that
working?
Sunday
This Saturday
morning.
or next?
Yeah.
This coming up would be next. It'd be next Saturday. I'll be working that day. Not this coming
Okay.
up.
24th? The 24th?
Okay. He's
It'll be
asking you a
24th
question.
of February, correct, Mr. Laidler?
Yes.
All right. So this weekend, Mr. Ladler would have parenting
Oh, this
time.
lady do not want this man to get her kids. Look at this. She
Well,
look
actually,
like
today's
she's in
Wednesday.
pain.
So, Mr. And you recommend this take effect immediately, Ms. Brower, that Mr. Ladler would pick up the children from school today.
Yes, Your Honor.
He gotta get the
I
kids
No reason why
too.
no reason why we shouldn't. So, do you understand what's being discussed and recommended, Ms. Edmondson?
Miss
No.
Edmondson won't be able to get away with this,
Okay.
and Judge Bryant
So, the court's going to order parenting time as follows. If you have a problem with it, you can talk to an
file
attorney.
another motion.
The father's parenting time will be week 1, which will start today. So, Dad will pick up the children from school today at 4:00.
Ooh,
Dad,
okay.
Mr. Ladler, do you have clothing for the children?
Yes, sir.
Do you have beds for the children?
Yes, sir.
Do you have car seats?
Yes, sir.
All right. And obviously, the 6-year-old will have homework. You need to make sure you go through the backpack and review what needs to be done for the following day of school.
Of
So
course,
this will
that's
be
my
the week
fucking child.
1.
But
Dad
some
will
people
pick
do
up,
need to know that.
today from school, and he will return the children
She's
to mom on
pissed.
Sunday at 9 a.m. The following week, Dad will have parenting time on Wednesday. That's the 21st of February after school, and he'll return to mom on
I am confusion. Okay, when you watch this court, like, I'm just confusion as to why she is like does not want him to get these kids. It seems like because everything that they have suggested as to when he should get the kids, she has been in opposition to that, as well as the child support. And I'm like, is he that bad? Does he not look after them? Are the kids always complaining about something when he gets some? Like, what is really going on? He just trying to get a little piece of his kids. They are half his as well. He should get half time, but I would like to know, because I'm like, okay, he must have did something, because she is like, her reaction is not looking good. But from a judge's standpoint, they might see how composed he is versus how non-composed she is, and they might want to go in favor of him, because she could be deemed to be looked at as though she's just trying to give everybody a hard time. Let's keep going, child. Maybe that's what it. I don't.
Saturday, the 24th of February at 9 a.m. because he's working that day. And you'll alternate that every week. So do you understand the recommendation, Miss Edmondson?
Miss Edmondson, this is
Miss Edmondson?
disrespectful to the courts,
No,
ma'am.
I don't understand that because that means that y'all just granted him 5 days with his children. I didn't even get to see my children this week, so I'm literally about to go another 5 days
Okay.
without seeing my children.
Got you. Okay, so he about to
Is
that
that
10
correct, Mr. Ladler?
days.
You've had children for the last 5 days?
Yes.
Yes, I had them.
All right, so we'll start this. That's a good point. So, Mr. Ladler,
That's all you got to
start
say, ma'am. You don't have to. It's okay. Don't act like a kid. It's okay. But I am glad that the judge is being very patient in this situation and allowing her to, say that. I probably would have felt the same way too. I don't know if I would have been like crying and stuff. Everybody handles stuff differently, but I would have been like, "Excuse me, Your Honor." I would have been raising my hand until I was acknowledged instead of interject. So you have your hand raised. Yes, Your Honor. May I speak? I have not seen my child or my children in a week. Okay. So you mean to tell me y'all want me to go another week? I thought we supposed to be flipped to the flopping. What's happening here? Okay. Period.
Following Wednesday, the 21st. I mean, obviously, if you've had children the last 5 days, the children will start your parenting time on the 21st of February. So you're going to pick them up after school on Wednesday, the 21st. You're going to deliver them to mom on Saturday morning, the 24th.
Yep. Because you got to go to work this
So
week.
mom will pick up the kids from school today. Your parenting time will start a week from today,
Next
Mr.
week.
Ladler. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Edmondson. I wasn't aware that the children been with Dad the last.
This man looked like he was excited. He was going to go get them kids today. You hear me? Okay. Let me tell you, I bet you them kids love both of them. As they should. Those are their parents. But I bet you. Listen. He was going to get them babies. They coming right back home with Daddy. It is what it is. Whoa. And she said, not on my watch.
5
What the
days.
fuck you think this is? No, that's right. Get your babies.
Perhaps we should also indicate in the recommended order, Ms. Brower, that the parties shall start joint legal. So we're just going to do just joint legal, and the parenting time is set forth in the recommendation.
So maybe he
Yes, Your
did.
Honor.
Maybe he kind of did get off with that child support
The last
Also,
order of
because
July 19th reference, the mom had sole legal, but there's been
a portion of his money, I guess so. So maybe it is kind of like he paying 500. I suppose. I don't know, but he's already having to pay their health care. Plus, I think she may get that difference of that in like 200 and some dollars. I guess that's fair. They both gonna have them for a little time. I wonder. I gotta go back and listen to that portion because because I know the lady said something about his health insurance being 185. So she took that into consideration. So is the 185 coming out of the 220? And so he just pays the remaining balance? I could have misunderstood that. But it doesn't seem like he's getting off scot-free with child support and he's able to see his kids often, which I think that he should. Honestly, I feel like any man out here paying child support should not be okay with just paying child support. I don't think you should be okay with just paying for something that you don't get to see or spend time with. But you know, some of y'all just be like, just put me on child support. Y'all be so okay with that. Until later on, life hits your ass and then you want to try and switch some stuff up.
it appears that the parties should not to agree upon joint legal make equal decisions regarding their welfare. All right, Miss Edmondson, again, I understand you may not agree with this. And obviously, if the two of you can be on the same page as parents, you know what's best for your schedule and that of your children. Work together, co-parent your children. You want them to, while life there's enough challenges in life, make things good for each other and the children. So if in fact you two agree to modify parenting time, you can come back for this court and I'll modify the order. But if you cannot agree, then the court has to decide these matters, and you don't want the court raising your children.
You sure fucking don't, because they damn sure telling y'all what to
Time will
do.
be as follows. Dad will have on a 2-week rotating basis. Dad's parenting time will start on Wednesday, a week from today. That's February 21st. After school, pick them up and return to mom at 9 a.m. a Saturday morning, the 24th. The following week, Dad will have parenting time on Wednesday, the 28th, until Sunday, the 20th.
Look how she looking into the living room, trying to get advice or whatever. I feel like whoever that third party is has a heavy influence and an effect on y'all relationship. It's okay for y'all to not be together and do everything in the best interest of your fucking kids. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Seems like she may give him a hard time. She don't want him to have nothing to do with the kids, and it definitely seemed like she'd rather have the money versus him spending time with his kids. Like I don't
Till that'll be March 3rd on Sunday.
is there any chance that it can change if my circumstance?
So you gonna quit your job so he can pay more?
Change your circumstances?
Yeah.
What you
Yes,
mean?
obviously, if it does not work out, you can file a petition with the court saying, Judge, it's not working out. We want to modify it.
No, I'm saying if my circumstances change,
What circumstances?
will this court order change?
That's what he's telling you. See, this is where I see what y'all may have had is you don't listen. Okay, because that's what it sounds like he's telling you now. If your circumstances change, whether it's financial, whether you need a little more assistance from him, whether your living arrangement has changed, what type of circumstances are you speaking on, ma'am? Because at the end of the day, once this court order has been decided, you're still going to have to petition the courts to make any changes in the documentation and what's already been approved, girl. But she don't know that, so just explain to her, Your Honor. Maybe I'm tripping.
Not automatically. You need to present to the court your change of circumstances, so that Dad's aware of the change of circumstances, and we can discuss that together.
Also, y'all granted him 5 days out of the week, and I only get 4. How are we splitting 7 days throughout?
Look into it. Figure it out, people.
Well, 1 week he's only going to have 3 nights: Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you'll have 4 nights that week.
Yeah, because he got to work.
I didn't hear you correctly.
Yeah, because you won't be listening.
Start a week from Wednesday. Okay, the 21st. If you look at the calendar, a week from today, and he'll pick up after school on Wednesday. He'll have Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. He's gonna bring back to you a Saturday morning because he's working 9 a.m. And then the following week, he'll have 4 nights and you'll have 3 nights. So it's relatively
I
equal.
hate that you keep looking in the living room seeking approval from whoever is in your fucking ear. Girl, I also be feeling like it's always like a third party part, and they don't always mean bad. I think sometimes they mean well. But sometimes them third party people can plant seeds in your head and you wasn't even thinking about none of that. And they'll plant a seed and like they do it to the young ladies and the men. Like the men will be all in a full relationship with the girl. The girl don't want to be with them no more. She might want to put them on child support, and then they'll pull a stunt like because they done heard somebody talking. You need to get DNA test on that child. So of course, getting a DNA test that could possibly prolong the final decision on child support because they need to wait to find out if this is indeed your child. Because back then it didn't used to come back as rapidly as it can come back now. So I mean, you have people in the men heads and stuff like that on how they can push back, and then you got people in the women that you need to put him on child support. Ain't no guarantee he gonna take care of the child. Da 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 da. And sometimes you just gotta give people the opportunity to show you that they are going to do their part. And if not, then you take the extra measures so that you could say, I tried this, I tried that, I tried it. Yes, and well, here we go. Okay, but the way she keep looking over there for approval is a bit irritating to me. Because now I'm like, are you really upset for yourself? Or are you upset because they got you thinking something completely different? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, girl.
Well, parenting time. If in fact this does not work, either one of you can petition the court to modify it. But the children deserve to have as much time with each parent as possible.
That's a true statement. If he wants his kids, because it's a lot of people that don't. Just make sure them kids be with you, and they ain't always with the fucking grandparents and stuff.
Layla's had at least 3 overnights per week. Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays. So it's not significantly different from what you practiced in the past. Again, each party shall have 1 phone call per day. You can call the children when their dads care, or dad. You can they should call it the paternal. You can call the plaintiff's Miss Edmondson's sister.
The fact that the judge is saying that it's not different than what it was in the past, it's only a shift of nights, and it seems like at most he may have gained 1 additional night. That's it. 3 weeks. I'm sorry. 3 nights 1 week, 4 nights another week. Ma'am, what the fuck? I'm tripping. It's me. Maybe I need more context, but I'm like, what is the issue? What y'all already were practicing this man getting his kids. He's getting technically an additional day and a confirmation on what he's going to have to pay for child support. What is going on here? It seems like you're not over the breakdown of the relationship is what is seeming to me. And you might want to continue to punish this man for something. But at some point, I just be like, when do parents get to a place where whatever your emotional feelings are, it's really about what the children want and making sure that he does his part when it comes to the kids. You know what I'm saying? And if he not going to pay any child support or he not going to contribute enough, I'm going to make sure he buy everything he's supposed to have for them kids, because you ain't getting shit up out my house. I'm glad he did say he got a car seat, he got clothes, he got this, because I wouldn't give him a fuck ass thing. Buy it. And let my kids come back to this house raggedy. I'm going to take a picture of that and we're going to talk about that. We might have a little piece of a problem. But, let that man, it seemed like he got everything together. He got beds for the kids. He got space for the kids. He want to have his children. Maybe it's me, because I'm like, what is really, the only thing I really did have a problem with was her saying that when he gets the kids, they don't be with him. That's a problem. I don't like that. Don't be trying to get them kids so you can lower your child support or whatever, and you don't be having them kids with you. Okay, now I do understand some parties, some functions may happen when they're in your care, and you might want to go to that concert, and hopefully your mom can have the kids that particular night while you run to the concert or whatever the case is. But primarily, I do think that you should get your kids and spend time with your kids. They're yours, you know what I'm saying? And they at that age, 4 and 6, where they're going to tell all your business. Let me tell you something. That 4-year-old really going to let loose. The 4-year-old really going to tell what the hell going on. Now, that 6-year-old might be a little more tamed. Okay, but that 4-year-old ain't too far from a damn terrible 2, okay? Period. Okay, it's just a terrible 2 that can really motherfucking talk and tell some tea. So, anywho,
Edmondson, you can call the
be
paternal
careful.
grandmother. You got her phone number. You can call at 7 o'clock to talk with the children.
So I don't have a phone anymore. I can't really do that. So
Well, how the fuck is you on this call right now if you can't really do that? You on electronics right now. Girl, I would have ate her up in the courtroom. Don't say nothing to me about how you cannot call your kids because you ain't got no phone. But you're sitting here on a Zoom call right now. So if you need to Zoom in and schedule a Zoom time to have a conversation with your fucking kids, that's what you gonna do. If you need to get on Google, which is free, for you to be able to get on the Google Meet or whatever to have a talk with your kids, that's what you're going to do. But if you got to take your ass to Instagram or Facebook to face your kid, do what you need to do. I don't have a phone. I don't have a phone. I can't do that. See, this right here leaves me to believe that I was not completely wrong about this young lady. And I feel like she just wants to be difficult. And whoever is in the other room with her, okay, they contribute to the bullshit too.
it's okay.
Well, maybe you can borrow a phone.
You should
I'm
have asked her how the
okay.
hell she's sitting on this call, Your Honor.
No, it's okay because I'll got away.
Okay. All right. So please work together. Ms.
She ain't trying to
Edmondson,
work
Mr.
with
Laidler,
nobody.
work together to make life a lot easier for each other and the children.
Look at her. She looking off into the living room
Right.
at the
Do you
other part. Like, just some
any
foolery,
questions about
girl.
the schedule, Mr. Laidler?
No, sir.
And Ms. Edmondson, do you have any further questions?
Send her on, Your Honor.
Okay. If in fact it doesn't work out, either of you can petition the court to modify this. So, Ms. Edmondson, you get forms at the front of the court. And talk with your caseworker. You can file a motion in a month from now if it's not working out and explain to the court why it's not working out. The court will look at it and modify it if necessary.
Yeah, modified if necessary. Okay. Look at her.
Yep.
She been playing with her
Okay.
toes this
All
whole
right, that
time.
concludes Mary. Should both zoom out.
Girl, I can't take it. I cannot take it. Y'all gotta let me know y'all thoughts and how y'all felt about this particular episode, honey. That's all that we got at this particular time. I am Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye bye.